How ugly can it get? How ugly will it not get? That's the question. How ugly will it not get? We know it's coming around the corner. Me and you can see it coming around the bend.
Well, it might make sense for a person to get the frick out of here. You know, I don't want to be in the Western world when it comes apart.
David, this thing's going to hit worldwide, globally.
Well, it's not. That's not quite true. And I'll tell you why I say that. Technology costs money to put in place, a lot. Okay.
And that's what they're making billion-dollar investments towards right now. Your main business sector, your Fortune 500.
I would say that, for example, you know, people that live less technologically advanced lives in like second world countries,
they're going to be dumped.
Well, the thing is, they're going to be fine. No, they're not going to be dumped. They're going to be just fine because their lives won't change.
Kind of like what happened during the Great Depression days.
Well, again, you got to think outside the United States.
But you also got to think of examples towards what happened to different cultures at different times.
Well, yeah, and I would look at the history, like maybe the Roman Empire.
Ooh.
When Rome fell, you had it was invaded. You know, they had the collapse of
Anglo-Saxons and all them.
Well, it collapsed into two empires, and then the West kind of fell, and then you were left with the Byzantine Empire for, I don't know, hundreds of years, I guess.
Who was the main character in all that?
I don't know if there was one. But empires fall. You know, the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, the British Empire,
the Persian Empire,
the American Empire, you know, China, you know, so we don't know what will happen. It's very possible that people will reinvent themselves. Society will reinvent itself. I don't know.
So you're saying that there'll be a remnant that will possibly rise out of the ashes?
Oh, I think that the whole world will
eventually awaken.
Yeah, I think that the shift is going to be into the Antichrist empire. You know, you're going to see the potentially, you know.
So you're saying that there's literally going to be people starving to death because they won't participate in the New World Order pertaining to the mark of the beast?
People have starved to death in many places, at many times in many places.
That's got to be a cruel way of dying.
Yes. Look what happened in China, in Russia, in different places. I don't know, how it plays out. I'm not sure that things aren't happening in China. We have no real.
China just got hit by a major earthquake.
Well, okay, but what I'm saying is,
and they ain't never fully recovered over COVID.
Yeah.
Nobody's fully recovered over COVID.
Right.
We keep getting attacked again and again and again.
Well, I'm just saying that there's a lot of stuff that we probably don't know. You know, one of the things is that I heard that Brandon Biggs say.
Who?
That Brandon Biggs, that guy that's very prophetic.
The guy that talked about the dust being on the tractors?
Yes.
Okay.
He was saying something about a virus that would kill 350 million people worldwide.
David, that don't even sound possible.
Yeah, well, it is.
In today's society, with our modern day science and medications?
I'm sorry, Dennis. I'm so sorry.
Think about what you're saying, David. Look at where we're at. We're in the 21st century, man.
I know. That doesn't mean we can stop viruses. especially if they've been genetically engineered. You know?
Well, they're talking about that passenger ship right now being disrupted pertaining to a virus hitting that boat.
Yeah.
I think it had 17 Americans on it, and they're making a big deal on TV about all that stuff right now. I mean, a big deal. It finally got to dock over there in Spain somewhere, but my God, the people are disrupting towards not wanting it to come to their shore.
Right. Yeah. Imagine what that can do.
Oh my God, that could start fights. That could start riots just that in of itself.
I'm not worried about riots and fights.
Well, I know you got defense system there where you can take care of yourself, but at the same time, look at the suffering that's going to happen.
Listen, the problem is if that virus became widespread. You follow me?
Yeah, become airborne.
I mean, that's the thing with some virus that we don't have a cure for and can't cure, and it burns through society. You could be talking just what Brandon Biggs is talking about.
My God, what a scary thought.
I'm telling you, you see something like that, you'll see a shutdown like you never imagined.
Make COVID-19 look like child's play, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Even in the 21st century with our advanced technology.
It'll make your butthole pucker. Okay.
So the lucky ones are those that's already went through their reconditioning and has already passed into the hereafter world, probably. Because our suffering, who knows what we're going to have to face before we go through this thing.
Let me tell you something. Look what happened in Europe in the 1300s, around 1348. They had the Black Death in Europe, and it was caused by the bubonic plague.
Well, didn't that have an effect on people over here in America too?
Affected the whole world.
And you know, that's the whole thing about it. We're so diversified now towards airplanes and ships and stuff going back and forth to different countries. There's really no way to isolate it anymore, is it?
It's very difficult.
You can't really isolate something like that, can you?
I don't know.
I mean, who's to say that them bringing that ship in to inland that they hadn't, and they're saying that type of disease, that virus is from rat poo-poo. The same type of disease that killed those two actors over there, or the actor and his wife over in California. What was their names?
I don't know.
Well, they found their bodies a few days later. I think one of the dogs was dead too. They made a big deal out of it, but they said that they died of that disease.
Well, the bubonic plague was related to, what was it, fleas and stuff on the rats.
Really?
Yeah.
Have they ever got rid of chicken flu or whatever it is, or mad cow disease? I mean, there's been 2 or 3 other things that's come out just recently.
Yeah.
Whooping cow disease.
I don't know much about it.
What's starting all these diseases?
Again, I don't know. There are also people who want to reduce human population.
Like a mad scientist? A Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Something.
Huh?
I think so. I mean, there are those who
are intentionally trying to bring havoc to society?
Well, until they blew it up, there were the Georgia Guidestones that, they wanted to reduce human population to 500 million.
Did they ever find out, did they ever get any type of leads towards who blowed that thing up?
No, but it was kind of interesting, nobody talks about it. But,
There was a commitment from some of their political officials that it would be put back whenever it first occurred, but since then the flames went out and I ain't heard nothing else about it.
Well, they were just stones, and who knows who put them there.
I know they was just stones, but all that writing and stuff requires time and energy and money.
They sure did. You know?
And whoever blowed them up had to know something about
And it was put there in 8 languages.
8 languages.
Yep.
What was the bottom line?
I don't know.
What was their
Well, one of the things it talked about was reducing global population to 500 million, which means you'd have to kill 14 out of 15 people.
14 out of 15 people.
Yeah. If the global population, let's say it's 8.5 billion, you have to kill 16 out of 17 people. Okay? And let me give you an idea. Let me get my computer.
David, that's a horrifying thought.
Yeah, well, that's the goal. Okay? That is the goal. Hang on. I'll do the math. Okay? If we took 16 divided by 17, that's 94%, times, let's say, 340 million. You'd only have 20 million people left in the U.S. 350 million would be dead.
My God, we wouldn't have places to bury them.
We wouldn't bury them. Are you kidding? Who'd bury them?
We'd probably just exterminate them. Do like China was doing, throw them in freaking burning pits. Either that or dig big holes and mass bury them.
Yeah.
You know, bury 2,000 or 3,000 people at one time.
Yeah.
Could you only imagine to become that barbaric?
Very quickly.
Well, they're calling out medical aid right now to Turkestan and somewhere over in China.
Yeah.
Medical aid.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the Georgia Guidestones featured 10 guidelines for an age of reason, engraved in 8 languages, focusing on population control, environmentalism, and global governance. The most prominent and controversial tenet was maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Okay.
That's not a decision for mankind to make.
Oh, I agree.
That's like somebody playing God.
Yeah.
Is it not? Is it not?
I would say. Okay, it was in Elbert County, Georgia, from 1980 to 2022. 19 feet 3 inches tall.
19 feet.
Made from 6 granite slabs weighing a total of 237,000 pounds.
Oh my God! You're talking the money-wise, probably what, $20,000 for something like that or more?
I have no idea. A lot of money. Okay.
Somebody had some money to erect that.
Yeah. Okay.
Not counting the engraving. I mean, it took a while to engrave all that stuff.
Yeah. On the morning of July 6, 2022, the Guidestones were heavily damaged in a bombing from a vandal.
And that had to take something very powerful to destruct that.
Right.
Like a stick of dynamite or something. Maybe 2 sticks. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just can't believe. Why was the purpose of destroying the rock, trying to destroy the fundamental practicality of the message of the rock coming from the rock? Is that the purpose for destroying the rock?
I have no idea.
You see what I'm saying? If we can destroy the rock, we'll destroy the prophecy of the rock. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of course, that's idiotic thinking. You know as well as I do, if it was really any kind of authenticity to the rock pertaining to its authenticities, you ain't going to be able to stop what's coming down the pike if it's going to be happening on a supernatural level. You know that.
Right.
I just wonder who had it done. It had to be somebody that had more money than they had sense.
The guy that did was Robert C. Christian, and he spent $100,000.
Wow, I was way off, wasn't I?
It would be equivalent of 400,000 today.
Wow, I was way off.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure it wasn't insured.
Right.
And to get the state of Georgia to agree to rebuilding that back, to having that place back on there, is going to be slim to none. Toward being able to get Congress to vote, the local Congress to vote that in, to have it done, to have the taxpayers pay for it.
Yeah. Yep, that's true.
Did you see what's happening right now pertaining to different segments of Tennessee that they've turned it all red now pertaining to the voting arrangements?
I haven't seen that.
Yep. They just took away the mouthpiece of Memphis.
Yep.
Sure did. In other words, the red state is wanting to gerrymander the voting industry towards basically making sure that Republicans stay in power.
Yeah.
Is that fair for the Democrat Party?
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know. I haven't really followed any of it.
Oh, there have been big protests up there in Capitol Building up there in Nashville about all this stuff.
Yeah.
People's got more time and they got sense pertaining to
Right.
and I'm not against nobody protesting, but the fact of the matter is, during the time that you're protesting on something negative, couldn't you be doing something positive?
I don't know.
Couldn't you be working? Couldn't you be engineering some sort of a new creation or job or something?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I'm getting complaints right now. You remember that woman that come out there that come out there with me towards getting that van?
Yeah.
Her name was Sheila.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't tell you this, but she inherited a great deal of money.
Well, that's good.
Like almost $500,000. You can't tell it by looking at her, by the way she acts and dresses and stuff like that. But she was telling me that they're fixing to pass a law pertaining to your policymakers that if you got X amount of money in your bank account, you'll no longer be eligible to draw a check.
What?
Yes, sir.
I find that hard to believe.
Yes, sir. If you got X amount of money in your bank account, you'll not be eligible to draw your retirement check. You should be able to handle your own affairs. I'm telling you, whenever that Doge come into play with Elon Musk with that damn chainsaw, this has all got to do with that, man. They shaved off $1 trillion immediately off of the healthcare industry this year. Well, you know who's paying for that? People like myself. They raised my check enough that I was no longer under that shield of being able to get affordable extra help pertaining to my medication, and now I'm stuck with either being out a lot of money every month towards my medication or not doing without medication. Well, the society was already strained to the degree that a lot of you senior citizens was having to make choices between either getting medication or leaving the lights on.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think this is going to do? It's going to make it that much harder on your retirees.
That could be, yeah.
But yeah, they're discussing towards actually looking at the fact of going in, and that's the whole purpose for all this Doge stuff, that they're gonna dissect it right down to an individual level, that if you got X amount of money in your bank account, you'll not be eligible for your own retirement that you pay for all your life. All your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Didn't that come into play in the 30s or the 40s? Eisenhower or somebody like that brought in the Social Security thing?
Yeah.
What we're seeing, David, is a failure to our republic.
Right.
And they're crawfishing. They're trying to work their way out of all this stuff. And I've actually heard them bring up the fact of trying to independently make it to where Social Security didn't even exist at all, that you was basically handling your own affairs pertaining to the money. Instead of you paying in that money, you put it into a special account. That way it would take care of you on a rainy day.
Right.
They're floating that around too.
Yeah.
And if they're floating this stuff around, odds are it'll probably come into to play. Usually, it may not come into play immediately, but it'll usually come into play. But the Georgia Guidestones, that was kind of I don't even know the right way of categorizing it. A very unusual ordeal.
Yeah.
Especially with them blowing it up, destroying it. And it was as if that they could destroy the prophecy that the Guidestones represented. Well, that's kind of like burning all the Bibles. You can burn all the Bibles that you want to, like they done back during the dark ages, but that ain't going to stop the prophecy from coming true, is it?
Yeah, sure.
This thing's
I'm just reading about this hantavirus.
It's called from rat doo-doo.
Yeah.
And my God, if that be the case, I was exposed to that as a child growing up out here in the country, because we had freaking rats out in our barn, and some of them would mosey up to the house pertaining to mice, but we had rats, David, the size of freaking squirrels, rabbits.
I know.
We did.
I believe it.
We had a corn crib out there, and we'd go into a rat killing contest out there towards our high-powered BB guns and stuff, towards going out there and killing all of them. Sometimes we'd kill 500 at one day. In one day.
That is crazy.
Yes, sir. So I guess I was exposed to that probably ever since I was born, living down here in Tennessee.
Well, it didn't mean they had hantavirus.
Oh, it didn't?
No.
But that's the host of the stem from it, coming from rats.
What they're saying is, the other thing is, where did that virus come from? It says the virus is typically associated with rodents, but may have passed from human to human aboard the vessel. 3 people from the ship have died, while a handful of others are sick.
That's telling me that it went airborne.
And well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Okay, so here's what they're saying about it. Hantavirus is extremely dangerous and often fatal, with a mortality rate of up to 40 to 50% for strains in the Americas.
What?
Which causes hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. It's a rare, severe respiratory disease contracted by inhaling virus particles from rodent urine droppings or saliva. Initial symptoms are flu-like. The disease progresses rapidly to fluid-filled lungs and cardiac failure. Has a high fatality rate. 38 to 40% of patients who develop respiratory symptoms die. Severe respiratory failure can occur within a few days of initial symptoms. there is no cure, only supportive care. Strains in North and South America often affect the lungs, while European and Asian strains often cause kidney disease with lower fatality rates.
Oh my God.
While typically...
So that's telling me that it can get into the blood.
Yeah. The South American Andes strain has shown limited human-to-human transmission.
Limited. But that still leaves an opportunity that it can still go airborne.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a...
See, that's the whole thing. I think that the world warming up, it's causing these viruses and stuff to enhance them. And that's just like they're fixing to bring something else from the DNA of prehistoric back to life. They've already done this once or twice. I think these mad scientists are doing the wrong thing by taking DNA out of a damn dinosaur and recreating the damn thing, don't you?
I don't know what they're doing.
They can do that today.
Sure.
I think it's wrong. It ought to be outlawed. We're liable to create something on this planet that would wind up wiping us out.
I guess, yeah.
And it could be a microscopic little germ. You hear me?
Yeah.
A microscopic, invisible germ with the human eye.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because that's been one of the military's nightmare all along is biological chemical warfare.
Yeah.
Because it's something invisible. You can't see it with the human eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess...
Washington needs to wake up. Washington needs to wake up.
I think they're awake. Okay.
But the Democratic whole is falling apart right now because it thinks more of the party than it does the whole, and that's wrong too.
No, I agree. Yeah, the Democrats, I think, are getting a rude awakening.
They sure are, ain't they?
Yeah.
But what Donald Trump's doing right now over there, pretending that straight hormones, that's also giving them a rude awakening towards how this has affected the world, pretending to cutting off that main vein over there that's basically supplying about 20% of all the resources pertaining to the energy sector coming from that area. The bottom line is, David, they've messed up. In the past 30 years, our American politicians has messed up, and they have let this stuff creep up onto our lives, and now we're having to deal with it.
Yeah.
And our children's having to deal with it, and our grandchildren's having to deal with it, and it ain't fair to them.
No, it's not. You're right.
And I don't know how to correct it other than to pray for divine intervention, because I think it's already reached a level now that mankind ain't going to be able to straighten this out. It's going to take supernatural divine intervention to straighten this out. It's going to take a major revival to get this even on the right track of being straightened out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And maybe this is God's way of awakening us toward letting this stuff creep up into our lives, toward basically giving them over to a reprobate mind and letting them believe a lie to be damned.
You're asking the wrong man.
I'm just saying.
Nothing surprises me, buddy.
Hey, look up that about India pertaining to the gas wars going over there right now. Tap that in real quick. How bad is that? Or was that just something that was blown out of proportion?
I moved away from my computer. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
Just bear with me. I'm almost done here. I'll go right back.
All right.
Hang on.
And what about all this stuff pertaining to UFOs? Boy, that's been a box that they've recently opened pertaining to the government acknowledging that these things are real.
Oh, yeah.
They've opened up Pandora's box pertaining to that. They're just now acknowledging, the American government is acknowledging that those things are real. Now, they haven't proven yet pertaining to actual finding aliens that's got weird looking skin and blood that's different than ours, but they basically are saying, yeah, we know that there's unidentified flying objects out there that's been recorded too many times by our special teams, by our military.
Yeah. Well, apparently there are protests in India over cooking gas shortage, which is propane.
Okay, and natural gas too.
Right. Yeah.
And that's got to be because of the Hormuz Strip over there.
Right. Yeah. You know, if you can't cook your food, that's pretty serious.
That's pretty serious. And look at what's going on right now in Cuba. Tap that in real quick, pertaining to what's going on over there. Boy, them poor people over there, sure enough, taking it on the cheek, pertaining to their oil powered energy structures being torn apart.
Yeah.
I mean, bad, real bad.
Yeah. I'd say
these are big problems that's sneaking around the corner. If people don't start taking this stuff serious, we could be in big trouble. I'm thinking that we're already in big trouble. It ain't a matter of the storm approaching them. It's a matter of we're in the middle of the storm or getting in the middle of it.
Well, we haven't really, as a nation, experienced the collapse, you know. It's possible we could have one, you know. What happens if this country fails?
Well, you was telling me a couple years ago, America's never really went through a famine, have we? A nationwide famine.
No.
What would happen if that was to happen? All our crops fail. All our farmers fail. You know, there's not but 2.5 to 3% of the population in America that's associated with agriculture today.
Right.
You can go back into the late 1800s, 1900s, over 50% of the population was associated with agriculture because people grow their own gardens, people raised their own pigs, people done their own stuff.
Right.
Well, you take society today that's so self-reliant upon all these corporations. If something was to really happen real bad, what would we do? And that's another thing. China owns all this freaking property over here. If everybody was to go to starving, you know good and well they'd take care of their people before they would ours.
Well, hopefully that's true of any country. But historically, that's not always true.
It may not be, but I'm just saying. Bubba, we got some people in Washington, D.C. need to wake up.
Yeah. The potato famine in Ireland.
Potato famine?
That was in the 1800s.
Oh, okay.
The potatoes went to the British, you know, to the English. They left the Irish people to starve, even though they're the ones that grew the potatoes.
Really?
Yep. Yes, sir.
And how about the fresh water shortages pertaining to all our rivers and lakes and aqueducts and stuff drying up? Aqueducts drying up. I mean, that's another issue. Lake Mead, Colorado River, I mean, there's a big lake in Texas drying up. There's all kinds of stuff happening right now. It's just weird, and it's too much of it, David. We're under attack. We're under attack right now. The devil is coming down in great wrath.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't know. I mean, for the righteous, I think we'll be all right.
Well, we're going to have to reinvent ourselves to be all right.
I don't know.
And that may be the reason why the scripture says, forsake not the assemblies of thyself together, even so much as you shall see the days approaching, indicating that we will be able to see this stuff coming up onto us. Men's hearts failing for fear of things coming up onto the earth. That sounds like heart attacks and strokes to me. Sounds like bad health to me.
Yeah.
Man's heart's failing. We're on a trajectory right now, and it's not a good one.
No, it's not. We're going to see the world go through convulsions. You know, the idea that, the earthquakes, and, that's something I don't think we've really fully seen yet.
Oh no, but there's been swarms and swarms of them just within the past month.
Yeah.
We're talking like 400 or 500 in one day, all over the planet.
We may see a tremendous increase in that sort of thing. I don't know.
Well, somebody said something. I caught it on YouTube. Something about a major thing happening on Yellowstone. I don't forgot now what they called it. They said it usually happens about every 2 years, but it just went off, I think, about a day or two ago.
Oh.
So that's another event that could be a civilized killer.
It could be, I suppose. I don't know how serious that is.
That's serious. That's supposed to be a super volcano. They claim if it ever goes off, it will definitely affect worldwide.
Yeah, it would block the sunlight in some cases.
And of course, what would that do to the agriculture community if you don't have sun to help to grow your crops? That means the crops are going to fail. So whenever that guy Biggs said what he said about dust being on tractors, he may have very well nailed that, David. He may have very well nailed that, because if you don't have sunlight, you can't grow your crops. You got to have water and you got to have sun to grow corn and beans.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. I mean, I don't know much about it, but you're right.
You know enough about putting the seed. You know enough about putting the seed in the ground.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we're going to worry about the caldera, but it's who knows.
It's been acting awful strange here lately towards swarms of earthquakes.
Yeah.
And the buffalo and the deer and everything else is running out of that area, getting the heck out of there.
Yep.
They're even frightened of it because there's too much of it going on.
Well, and actually, we're not quite.
They're saying that volcano out in the Pacific, just about, I think it's about 100 miles, maybe a little less, outside of California. They claim that thing's fixing to go off, and whenever that thing goes off, God only knows how many earthquakes it's going to cause.
Oh yeah, yeah.
See, I kind of look at volcanoes as it being pressure relief valves.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at it that way?
No, but it sounds like it would make sense.
Pressure relief valves, and the more human population that you put on the planet, the more and more people, the more and more weight that you're putting on the earth. And as you're draining all the resources out of the earth is going to shrink, kind of like a balloon taking all the air out.
I gotcha.
And as this thing is shrinking, those release valves are going off.
I gotcha.
Because they claim that the planet isn't one big rock. It's actually kind of like an organism. It's constantly shifting and moving, and it's it's got the oceans, the high tide, the low tide, full moon, half moon. I mean, all these things is in conjunction with our planet. And whenever you have the planet basically regurgitating itself upon a society, it's just a matter of time before society ain't going to exist. Come on now, David, wake up to it. Look at what I'm looking at here.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know. There's so many things, and we are in the zone. I mean,
we're in the zone.
End times,
We're in the end time zone.
Yeah.
And I tried to preach to them. I tried to warn them. I tried to put out advisories and warnings, and nobody wanted to listen to me.
Well, people are just going to live their lives. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all they can do. People are trying to, people have concerns about all this stuff, but what can you do? What can you do about the super caldera in Yellowstone? You can't do anything.
You can pray to the Father to intervene.
Well, yeah, we can pray.
And it's going to take a supernatural force to straighten this out. And it's going to take a revival to mankind before God's going to start listening to us.
Well, I don't know. I think revival. I don't know, sir. I just don't know. I'd say that, there are things that are beyond our ability.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, and that's where we have to rely upon the supernatural source, the good supernatural force, in intervening against the bad supernatural force.
Well, yeah, I think that's surely true. But really, what do the scriptures tell us to do? Scriptures tell us,
pray that you're worthy to escape these things that's going to be falling upon to the planet.
Probably the biggest problem is not that's true too, but pray that you may be found worthy to escape the things that are coming upon the earth.
That's right.
But, what are we're told to pray for those in authority.
That's right.
That we may live a peaceful and quiet life.
That govern over us, right?
Yeah, I mean that, those are probably the biggest issues if we really want to go there,
I pray for our president every day.
Yeah.
The incredible job that he's doing right now is just absolutely phenomenon.
And I think he is doing a great job, but, he's only one man, There's real limits to what one man can do, I suppose.
Well, this meeting that they're setting up in the next couple of days of him going to China is a very, very important meeting.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I told you, we need to pray for our chief and commander. We really need to pray for him this week.
I gotcha.
But this could be the turning tide. This could be the difference between life or death. This could be the difference between having a normal life versus going into even an extreme abnormal life. And I know that sounds far-fetched, but I'm telling you what I'm seeing.
I gotcha. Well,
because if China was to harden its military forces against us over there, what's going on right now with the Strait of Hormuz, it could make life challenging for all of us.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a complex situation, that's for sure. And it says that in the scripture something about the cup of trembling, will be the Middle East.
Well, we've known for 50 years that wasn't nothing but a tinderbox fixing to go off in flames.
Yeah.
And we've tried to damper it down and put out the flames, and every time we do, another flame comes up. I mean, you tend to wonder towards throwing up your hands and thinking, well, my God, maybe they're just realistically doomed.
Maybe we should just stay away from there.
That's what I'm thinking. I hate to say that, but I mean, once you spend this much money and time and effort in trying to wake them people up and they're still not awakening, it's like, well, maybe they're not going to awaken.
Well, the other thing is, don't we exploit a lot of places around the world?
Every day. And we get exploited every day. Yeah. Well, at least you and I have choices. Yeah, we do.
We can choose to buy something or not buy it.
We can choose to plan ahead to a certain degree, but like you said, when it comes to the big stuff, that's out of our hands anyway.
Yeah. I don't know what government can do either,
Well, right now, I think they're going against the tide.
That could be.
Poisoning our water, making all the reefs die in our oceans, water supplies diminishing all over the planet. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on right now towards the planet regurgitating itself upon humanity. It's sad. It's really sad. It's a heartbreak. And if they would have just listened to the Windmill Ministries going back into 1989 when it become publicly known. I feel like that we'd have seen that revival. We would all be living in prosperity and peace right now, but they didn't want that. They didn't want that, David.
Yeah.
So you get what's coming around the corner in controversial of that. And it's not because I wanted it. I mean, whenever I predicted towards the Mississippi River going dry in the early 90s, I mean, I had no idea that there was going to be a major eruption down towards the settlement in the bottom of the Mississippi River that was going to start opening up towards all that water going into the cracks of the riverbed, basically losing about 42% of its water base from the time it leaves southern Illinois. From the time it gets down to Memphis, it's lost about 42% of its water base. That's a lot of water. That water's going somewhere.
Yeah, they ever figured, well, the Mississippi's high now.
Well, it may be because of all the melt off going on up north.
I mean, to tell you, it's high.
It may be. But it won't stay high. And it's being so unregular. I mean, for the past 4 or 5 years, it's gotten so low that it's stopped barge traffic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's very abnormal to see our Mississippi do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just looking. Just to see how low it is.
I usually, whenever I do a checkoff on that right there, I usually go over there at Hickman, Kentucky, and look at the gauges over there.
Yeah.
Hickman, Kentucky.
The Mississippi River was actually lower in 2022 and 2023.
And that was because of the drought situation, but also pertaining to the settlement opening up down at the bottom. They've proven that. They've already looked at that, and that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
The New Madrick Fault. Is it possible that God's allowing for that to happen, to be able to cool down the New Madrick Fault? That way we won't see another major earthquake like happened in 1811, 1812? I mean, I don't know. Something's going on there. It's big. Why we losing that much water out of our mighty Mississippi? Well, once more, what did I predict 30 years ago? That the Mississippi River would begin to start to dry up. And I put that up on the analogy towards the Bible talking about the river Euphrates drying up. You know good and well, whatever's going to dry up the Euphrates is going to happen to the rest of the water system all over the planet. The river Euphrates is a big river. That's a big river. It ain't the biggest, it ain't the deepest, but it's a big, and that's basically one of their main arteries going through the Middle East over there. Well, if that's going to dry up, you know good and well, something's going to happen to cause all the rest of the rivers to dry up. I'm telling you, the earth is heating up from the inside out, not the outside in. We thought at one time it was hairspray. We thought at one time it was cows farting. And then we went to R134 versus R112 pertaining to the AC units. And I don't think it's neither. I mean, I think it's got a profound effect upon to our atmosphere towards the cloud going up higher, because heat causes moisture to go up higher. And I think that's what's causing the deluges. Whenever it does rain, it's out of control, and basically it comes a flood. I do think that. But as far as the planet heating up from the outside, if that was the case, David, we wouldn't be able to go outside without getting 3rd and 4th degree burns. In other words, the planet would become uninhabitable if the sun was doing this. The sun ain't doing this. It's what we're doing to the planet. We're taking almost 1 billion barrels of oil out of the ground every day, every 24 hours. You don't do that every day and think that there ain't going to be some sort of consequences.
Right. I gotcha. Yeah.
Now you took your guy out of the oil industry pertaining to the market, right? You went ahead and bailed.
Yeah, I bailed.
Okay. That's another thing that I looked at this morning on 60 Minutes pertaining to the diamond industry and the gold industry pertaining to the minerals.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good investment that you made because that stuff's fixing to go off the charts.
Right.
It's fixing to go off the charts.
Yep.
Supply and demand. When you got more of a demand and you got a supply, stuff goes up.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking that it'd be nice if it went up a lot because I could, cash it in and.
It's right around the corner. I'm gonna say before year's end, it'll get back up to where it was. What was it? $120 an ounce silver.
Yes.
$127 an ounce, something like that. I'm gonna say it'll probably hit that. I ain't making a forecast or prediction of it, but I'm gonna say by the year's end, it's heading back up there.
Yeah.
So whenever you play in the market like that, how do you know when to get in and get out? Just based upon profitability?
Yeah.
And how much that you're willing to be greedy for?
Well, I don't have all the answers, I guess.
I mean, you're greedy, but you ain't that greedy.
I don't know.
When it comes to money.
Well, I mean, I'd like to maximize what I get out of it. Anybody would.
Oh yeah.
Have an investment, you want to get
Sure.
what you can back out of it.
Sure.
I wouldn't mind if it went up a lot.
Who was it? The Rothschilds or something like that made a statement that whenever the flow of people is going one direction, you need to be going the opposite direction. Looking at prosperity and investments.
Maybe so, yeah. Again, it's
boy, they had a big effect on this planet, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, I guess, yeah.
They went up against the oil industry.
Yeah.
They was actually set out to bankrupt this country.
I got you.
Well, right now we have a diminish on farmland, on farmers declaring bankruptcy in the past 5 years. It's increased. I don't forgot now what the percentage level is. Right now, the foreclosure. They're claiming that the credit card industry, people buying stuff on credit, that's what they're living off of right now. That's what they're living off of right now. They're saying that the foreclosures are going to increase. God only knows how much before the end of the year.
Wow.
Yes. Don't owe no man nothing.
Yeah.
I learned that in 2005 whenever I went down there and I worked the Katrina damage down there for almost a year.
Yeah.
Don't be indebted to no man.
Well, I have debt.
Well, you just owe for that tractor.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing.
No. No.
You could pay it off, but why do that? Take that money and use it for other investments because you got a good interest rate on it. What, 3.5%, 4%?
1.99.
See, you can't beat that. That's almost free money, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm just looking.
I've got somebody in mind for you. I'm going to talk to her and see if she'd be willing to talk to you.
Oh.
Her name is Mary. Mary has been taking care of a good friend of mine. She's a millionaire over here in Kenton, Tennessee. It's got a big lake in behind her house and stuff. Been taking care of her because her mother got ill last year and died. And then the daughter got ill and she's been having to have home care help. And now Miss Mary's going back to Rutherford, Tennessee. I'm going to discuss about possibly meeting up with you. She's a very attractive lady.
How old is she?
She, I think you're probably your age.
Oh, okay.
I think she's older than me.
Hmm.
I think. But she's very attractive and she's got her head together.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
And her husband recently died about 1.5 years, 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm going to discuss something with her pertaining to you, and I may hook you up towards y'all meeting.
Oh, wow. That'd be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I owe just under 15,000 on the tractor. I owe looks like $14,921.80. That's what it looks like. So I paid it down, over $11,000. Well, roughly 11,000. What do you think of that?
I think that's terrific.
Yeah, I mean,
I think if you keep doing that, your credit rating score will probably get up around 680, 670. I don't know. You may already be tickling 700.
I hate to tell you this, but my credit score, are you ready?
What?
Is allegedly 830.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't believe it. There was a time when my credit score was like 600, I'll tell you in a minute. I'm going to find out because I don't pay too much attention to this because those scores they give you are
no, they're not artificial.
Well, okay.
They may not be completely accurate, but they're not artificial.
Right. Allegedly, okay, Regions Bank says it's minus 828.
David, man, you could get anything. You realize that?
Probably.
You could borrow money right now on $2 million a note on building a whatever.
Well, I hear a lot of stuff out there, and I'm just going to run this by you. Watch this. I'm going to go to a different bank. I have different like credit cards, and each bank gives me a different score. It's supposed to. How come it's different?
Well, the probability.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me go back here.
It's all about probability.
I guess. They're
those loan sharks out there. You know how they deal. They don't have no mercy. They don't have no mercy.
Yeah, and let's see. U.S. Bank. I have one with them. Everybody gives me a little bit different. One will be 830, and other. Well, it said 828.
If you're even close to the 8s, you're excellent. You're beyond excellent.
Yeah, maybe so.
You really are. You could get a $2 million note.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You could build a business. You could get money right now to start your own business.
Yeah, you could do that, I suppose.
Or buy a farm.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I sure don't.
Well, farming is legalized gambling. You know that.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, you plant a crop today, you may get a yield out of it, a good yield. Then again, you may not. You know that.
That's true.
Legalized gambling, buddy. That's all farming is.
Yeah.
And whatever goes on the other side of the planet is going to determine the market value of what your crop is going to be worth whenever you get ready to harvest it. Come on, David.
Yeah.
We live on a very small planet in comparison to what it was 40, 50 years ago. Because of why? Because of the computer.
Yeah.
I think the computer, especially pertaining to AI, is going to be a cursing in disguise. Right now, we're thinking it's a blessing, but I think eventually it's going to wind up being the demeanor to mankind.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because eventually,
Nothing
because eventually,
surprises me.
because eventually, it's going to turn on humanity and say, "Well, I'm not going to be able." The computer system is going to say to itself, "I'm not going to be able to survive unless I wipe out 2/3 of all population of humanity." So it would turn on humanity. And instead of humanity being in control of it, it will be in control of humanity. Think about that pertaining to the mark. They did not worship the beast. Who is the beast? That rose from the ocean. Where's all the connecting lines pertaining to connecting all these continents together? They're down in the oceans pertaining to big lines.
I got you. Well, here we go. Going back to my credit score. One says 828 and one says 832. But if I have a hard hit on my credit, like say I wanted to check my score like somewhere else, it might say 776. You know what I mean? So you really can't go by.
Yeah, but it's in the ballpark.
Yeah, it's in the ballpark. I mean, so within my ability to borrow money, just because you have a good credit score doesn't mean.
No, you got to make a wise investment, or you got to put down money to be able to make that happen. I mean, are you willing to sit down and take, $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 of your own money and invest in a $2 million investment?
Right.
That way you secure that loan.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, just because you have a good credit score, it doesn't mean they'll loan you the money.
Not if it's not a wise investment, they won't.
Well, that's true, but they also look at how much income you have and stuff like that. Well, if my income is Social Security, then, they're not going to be too quick to loan me money,
Or they're going to charge a higher interest rate because you're going to be more of a higher risk. And that's also based upon age. They claim that age discrimination isn't real in America. I got news for you. Age discrimination is very real in America towards what they're going to charge.
Yeah, that's right.
Whether or not you're a high risk or a moderate risk or a low risk.
Yeah.
But I think all those guardrails that the banking industry has been using for years and years and years, I think it's falling apart too. Bill Clinton was the one that basically come up with that formula that out of 10 loans out of the banking industry, 3 of them are going to fail, but the other 7 was going to hold the other 10 up. I think that's going to be off the charts too, pertaining to all the foreclosures.
Oh, you could be right, Dennis. And when things go bad, they really go bad.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's just like a lot of things. If you have a recession or a depression,
it can turn everything on its head.
That's right. That's right. Even the banks, can even turn them into,
a free fall.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these banks, they got so many mortgages out there. Well, if the mortgages tank, they're very vulnerable.
All right, I'm fixing to get off here. Go up there and awake Dennis and tell him Happy Mother's Day for me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate the call.
Yes, sir. You have a good day, David.
You too, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good luck to all of us. It's going to definitely take a spiritual awakening to get us out of this hole that various politicians as well as preachers pertaining to the baby boomers has put us in. Father God, today, O Lord, I pray that you will abundantly bless the mothers out there that has good hearts, that has good intentions, that you would continue to bless our mothers, our precious mothers, of those that are either futuristic mothers or those that are already mothers or those who have already passed on, that you will have an abundant blessings upon to the mothers out there pertaining to Mother's Day, and that you will continue to bless our troops and bless America and bless our endeavors with which way we go from this moment on. In your gracious Holy Son's name we ask, in Jesus' name, and amen. Shalom.